Yeah. Blackjack. Life is like a game of cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. Yeah. Blackjack. To play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy DELRAY Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, tell a friend, and most importantly, if you want to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of this straight game, please hit the bell notification. I'm going to get right into it. Late breaking news in regards to Tupac Shakur and Afeni Shakur's estate. Basically, this is huge. Tupac's sister, Afeni Shakur, is suing the executive of her late mother's estate, accusing him of having embezzled millions of dollars, and refusing to hand over personal items with tremendous sentimental value that belong to her brother Tupac, including gold records. Like the ones that you see behind me when I work with Tupac. And so basically the lawsuit was filed on Monday in Los Angeles Superior Court. And basically Setcha was saying that she's like the head of the Tupac Foundation. She accused Tom Whalley, who is a former Warner Brother music executive. For the people who don't know who Tom Whalley is, Tom Whalley was one of the people responsible for giving Tupac his first record deal. And so she's basically accusing Tom Whalley of blatant violations of his duty as executive of the Afeni Shakur Davis estate, including allegedly installing himself as a key management role despite a conflict of interest. This goes on a lot in the music business. You have people, double dipping and triple dipping and giving themselves jobs and so on and so forth. And it basically said he has effectively embezzled millions of dollars for his own benefit, Setcha wrote. Whalley has unreasonably enriched himself as at the expense of the beneficiaries and in bad faith by taking excessive compensation in a position from which he should properly be barred based on the inherent conflict of interest. Basically says following Tupac's widely publicized shooting in 1996, his mother basically, she was named as the beneficiary of the estate because Tupac didn't have a trust or a will. And when basically Afeni died in 2016, Tom Whalley was named as the executive of her estate. Most people have been asking me like, well, who's in charge of Tupac's estate? And basically, I told them they were thinking, they always was saying like this white man, it's in the white man hands. Basically Tom Whalley is the executive of the estate, but the family members, namely Setcha, because she's like next in line. Basically, she's the one who basically can call the shots and do what she's doing right now. Basically, is protecting her brother and her mother's estate, which involves a lot of Tupac stuff. And basically, it says, according to Setcha, Whalley has committed a wide range of malfeasance in that role. Chief among is alleged misdeeds. She said he hired himself as the manager of Amaru Entertainment, the record label that released some of Tupac's music, and is principal income producing asset of the trust. So basically, that is a conflict of interest. Basically, he gave himself a job because for whatever the money he was making and being in charge of the trust, he felt like probably it wasn't enough. You know what I mean? So he then in turn, gave himself a managerial position, in the Amaru Entertainment, and was basically taking a salary. And she basically says Whalley has already received more than 5.5 million that has been paid, that he has paid himself in the last 5 years through Amaru, Setcha wrote. Wow. Still robbing Tupac from the grave, basically. You know what I mean? This is sad, man. You know, if it's true. Right now it's allegations, but if it's true, it's definitely sad. Basically goes on to say he has also refused to release personal property held by the estate. She says, including items Afeni inherited from Tupac. She said that includes the late rapper's cars, his jewelry, his artwork, and even his golden records. Like I said, once again, like you see behind me, it is clear that he has used and abused his powers as executive and special trustee of the estate and the trust to convert the personal property belonging to Setua as a piggy bank from which he has drawn substantial funds for his own benefit, she wrote. In a statement, an attorney for the trust strongly denied the allegations. Howard King, who's a power player, Howard King's one of the most powerful lawyers in Hollywood. Howard King basically said another well-known music litigator says Wiley was a longtime friend and confidant of both Tupac and Afeni and had committed no wrongdoing. King specifically noted that Wiley had been appointed to manage Amaru by Afeni before her death, not after. Basically goes on to say these legal claims are disappointing and detrimental to all beneficiaries of the trust, King said. We are confident that the court will promptly conclude that Tom has always acted in the best interest of Amaru, the trust, and all beneficiaries. Notably, Setua is represented in the lawsuit by L. Londell McMillan, a prominent music attorney who represented Prince before his death and has been heavily involved in the proceedings over the estate. She's also repped by Donald David and Joshua R. Mandel of the law firm Anchorman. Wow. So, yeah, this is very interesting news. As we know, Tupac's estate is worth millions. It's going to be interesting to see, and the question is now is whether Tom Wiley basically was hired to manage Amaru Entertainment before or after Afeni died, and if there's legal paperwork basically stating that he could do that. Like I said, I don't know, but this is the crazy part when you think about it overall. If you're the trustee, you know what I mean, I think you should refrain from basically trying to have another job in regards to managing Amaru from that perspective. You understand what I'm saying? Because it is like a conflict of interest. So it's like you're basically paying yourself. And now, here comes Setua, basically saying that, hey, you know what? If you are in charge of Amaru, what he's basically saying is that he can't be fired because Afeni put me there. You understand what I'm saying? And so I think the argument's going to come down to basically, well, okay, you're the manager of Amaru. We want you out as trustee, period, bottom line. And so you can't do both, and then from that point on, they'll be able to decide whether, he'll be on as either or, because at the end of the day, it is up to Setua, who is the beneficiary of the trust. And I'm sure, and somewhere in the trust, Afeni, left her in charge. That's why she's filing the lawsuit, basically. So this is going to be very, very interesting to see what happens with this. But like I said, at the end of the day, at any shakeup or any reason, matter, a shape, form, it's a conflict of interest. It's a blatant, outright conflict of interest. Once again, being the manager and making $5.5 million already off of Amaru, and you're still the trustee. You know what I mean? So it basically is saying that you call the shots and you manage the shots that are called. You understand what I'm saying? And so, yeah, so I think this is going to be interesting. I think they probably end up coming to some kind of agreement, hopefully. But yeah, it's sad, man. It's sad. And like I said, when you look at it, basically, saying, Wiley has already received 5.5 million that he has paid himself in the last 5 years through Amaru, she wrote, So I think, I think she has a case. She has a case. But like I said, at the end of the day, they have Howard King. She has L. Londell McMillan and Donald David, who's one of the premier music attorneys. And like I said, who was right there next to Afeni when she was basically going through the situation, dealing with Suge and so on and so forth. So, yeah, I think it's going to be really, really, truly, honestly interesting as to what this ends up being. So, yeah, your boy DELRAY, straight gang.